I was fortunate to meet the Barangay Tanod who also I think took care of me.
Yes.
And grabe because sabi lang niya sa akin, akala ko patay ka na. And apparently like people really die on that area.
Welcome to the Cycling Matters podcast, your weekly dose of discussions about our love for bike. This podcast is brought to you in cooperation with Ciclo. I am Jan.
I'm King.
In this episode of the Cycling Matters podcast, we will be talking about something in cycling that could happen to anyone. Beginners, enthusiasts, and even professional cyclists. And at the same time, wish that this something would never even happen to us. We will be talking about getting into and recovering from a cycling accident. Today, we are joined by Jobim Bimbao, a landscape architect, and
Who is also my longtime friend,
Yes.
classmate since high school.
also a Team Loyola member.
Yes, and Team Loyola member.
Yes, we will talk to Jobim about as he shares his personal experience of crashing and his road to recovery. We are also joined by Hide van der Waal, who
Hi.
is also a cyclist and a collaborator at Cycling Matters.
Welcome.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Cycling Matters podcast on Spotify. We release new episodes every Monday. Just search Cycling Matters in your favorite podcast platform, whether that be Spotify or YouTube. Put on some earphones and enjoy the discussion. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, Jobim. Welcome,
Hi,
Ide.
hi King,
It's so
hi
great to
Jan.
have you here.
Hi.
Wow. It's so different to have everyone without a bike.
Without a bike
Oh, right,
and
no?
not in Lycra.
Parang,
Oo nga.
Especially
Regular
that
shirt.
last one. It's weird.
Be in
yeah.
regular clothes.
Yes.
So again, thank you. Thank you for coming. Especially Jobim, thank you for agreeing to be our guest for today's episode. We know that the topic today could be a bit personal and sensitive, but at the same time could also be educational and very enlightening for us cyclists, diba? So before
Yes.
that, we talk about you guys, like of course you guys are cyclists, but first, like how you get into cycling? Can you tell us more about
Beer.
yourself?
Oh. There's beer.
Yeah, there
we
you
have
go.
beer for our guests. Here cup. All right.
So parang ikaw wala, Jobim.
Okay.
Ano ka napasok
Yeah.
sa, pagbibisikleta?
Okay, so me siguro I started 4 years ago, around 2015 or 2016. So what happened was, of course, I was working already, and I had this friend, a batchmate of ours also, and normally he'd bike from Mandaluyong to Quezon City every day, or at least a couple of times a week. Tas parang nakakatuwa naman yung ginagawa niya. So I was sort of inspired to actually try cycling. And the initial, so I started by buying my first folding bike. So yun, that was my first bike, and then I used it to go around where I work, which is in UP. So yung campus, since malaki siya, it's fun to bike. It's better than riding taking a jeep or walking. So yun. Tapos eventually I found myself like going home and then biking from home to work, and then eventually ayun, nagsimula doon at ang sarap pala mag-travel with a bike. So nung na-feel ko na it's kind of slow. Like a folding bike is kind of slow because you have small wheels, and it's just a flat area. So parang may nagsabi sa akin, pag mas malaki yung wheels, mas mabilis ka. So parang, okay, road bike na to. Tapos yun. And then, the rest is history. Ayun.
Nice. How about you, Ide?
I've been cycling since I was a little boy. Just to go to school, you bike where in the country where I'm from, the Netherlands. And my dad was a very enthusiastic road cyclist, so he gave me a bike, like a road bike, when I was maybe 10 or so.
Road bike with 10 years
Road
old.
bike, yes. A Peugeot.
Grabe yun.
Peugeot.
Oh my God.
Peugeot.
Which was very normal then. Right now it's
Okay.
like whatever, hipster, but then it was like the normal thing in Europe. So yeah, been cycling since, what is it, 28 years or something like that now. On and off.
Nice. And so, you mentioned na came from the Netherlands and now you're here.
Mm-hmm.
For how long na?
For 6 years almost, I think. Yeah.
Nice. And you've been cycling since then?
3 years.
3 years.
I didn't have a bike when I first arrived here, so
Nice.
I had to wait for like a colleague who gave me the famous Ave Maldea bike.
Yes.
We call it Calabao because it has Calabaos painted on it. And
Very Filipino
that's
theme.
yes. That's
Yes.
when it started. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this bike, si Calabao.
Mhm.
So Ave Maldea bike, for those na hindi alam, si Ave Maldea, one of the frame builders here in the Philippines na like best of the best.
Mhm. The
So,
Iron Man. Is
Iron Man, the steel,
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, Man of
Indeed.
Steel.
Iron Man.
But Man of Steel has mga steel bikes and like
Oh.
yung caliber, high quality. So owning an Ave Maldea bike is something special. So Calabao is very, very special.
I know.
All right. So for you guys, what's your favorite thing about cycling personally? Or he the first?
Good question.
Or Jobim first?
There's so many things.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
definitely many things. Siguro yun, cheesy answer, pero yung the feeling that when you're riding a bike, everything else kind of fades away.
Mm.
Meaning, I mean, sorry. One reason I took cycling like as serious as going to long rides, for example, on weekends, is because it was my sort of release from stress. So it was this opportunity to actually distress and forget all of the craziness in an urban world, diba? So dami yan. Of course, we have different works, and you'd know naman if you work too much, then it gets to you. And like cycling was sort of that escape from that kind of
Burnout. But
burn. And hindi pa naman burnout, pero
Okay.
parang papunta na doon.
Okay,
So
okay.
the cycling, it eliminates sort of that that feeling. So it was a very good feeling to bike. And of course, ayun, the friends that you ride with, actually tayo, di ba? Sama-sama naman tayo nag-ride. Masaya siya because paano ba to? Yung that feeling na lahat kayo parang na sabay-sabay yung pinagdadaanan na okay, mahirap yung say yung slope or yung climb or yung descent, mahirap yung ganyan. Tapos we all managed to pull through together. Yun yung masaya. It's the friendship that gets
Yeah.
fostered.
Parang may
Suffering
shared
together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suffering
Suffering together.
The shared
Sufferfest
experience.
of suffering. Yan.
That's nice. How about
Yeah.
you?
Well, that's definitely important for me, the friendship and the shared suffering, the de-stressing, and also just the possibility to get places, to go
Right.
places, right? Like go to Rizal,
Yeah.
get on your bike, and before you know it, you're in like wherever it is, Tanay or I think
Quezon.
you're in Quezon, in Real, and yeah, it's great.
All right. Now, kilala ko si Jobim na before, parang you used to build a lot of bikes. Or
Not a lot, but a few number.
N plus 2 lang.
for me, that's a lot kasi I never.
And plus 1.5.
So parang why or like what do you love about building bikes?
Well, I enjoy watching bikes getting built. I mean, that's one thing. Pero siguro it was more of like I started with a really how do you say this? No disrespect, pero a really entry level bike. Tapos hindi siya it should, I think, like when you ride, may part doon na investment na when you invest with the right gear, mas magiging okay yung quality na ride. Of course, the rider is a different component altogether. Pero, I mean, just the bike setup, I think that was sort of a way for me to experiment na okay tong component na to, okay tong component na to, hindi okay tong component to. Something like that. Tapos, ayun. So it was just basically a case of upgradeitis and add like disposable income at that time kasi wala pa naman masyadong priorities. Pero ngayon, syempre, nag-iiba rin naman. So yun. But of course, for now, I'm happy with my bikes. I have 2 bikes and that's it until I return to long distance cycling.
Okay.
Right.
Ayun.
Okay. Kasi naalala ko kaya biglang ride, casual or like biglang long ride, weekend ride, and then may bagong bike.
Paiba-iba
And then,
no?
Like it's not brand new, pero like bagong gawang bike.
Yeah.
I love secondhand
Always
stuff.
beautiful. Like,
Oo, mga
classic bikes.
Yes.
Ganyan.
So yun yung mga naalala ko.
Yeah. Tapos, before then, I mean, I used to like try to customize my bikes. Like I tried I had this extra saddle, so tinry ko i-upholster, like remove the leather and put new leather. Hindi siya maganda tingnan, but ayun, at least it was an experiment. And also
Right.
with bar tapes, like using scraps of leather to cover the handlebars, yung mga ganun, it kind of adds that personal touch. Pero ewan ko, parang hindi ko pa na-follow up yung part na yun. Maybe someday.
All right. Now that we've warmed up a little na, parang let's now talk about what happened, when you crashed. So can you tell us, like, can you just kwento it? Ano nangyari? Kailan siya nangyari? Ano yung route? Paano nangyari, if you remember? Saan ka nag-crash?
Okay, so this happened December 16 last year, 2018. So forever na 12, 16, 18 tatatak na yun sa isip ko. So we were riding from we were doing a training. What do you call it? A training ride?
A fun ride.
A fun ride.
One ride.
Oops.
You've just established that suffering together is fun.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
we were
Hide
doing,
was there.
Yes,
diba?
Hide was there.
And
we were,
Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dom. So we were three cyclists together doing the what we call the reverse Shera loop. So it's actually you were there.
Sa
First
start,
bit
on the
lang.
beginning.
until Antipolo lang.
Yeah, and then you no white bikes during
Wala
that
ako
ride.
doon.
So
wala
wala
ka
ka na.
doon.
Yeah, yun yung nalala ko. Parang lahat naka-black bike.
Oo.
So we go up to Antipolo and then go down Teresa. Then before reaching that arco in Pisong Cape, turn left.
In
Then
Tanay.
Tanay. Yeah.
Go up to Cafe Caterina. I forget the names of the areas. Cafe
Through
Caterina.
Sampaloc and
Sampaloc.
Yes.
Tapos
Cafe
left sa Cafe.
Caterina.
Yeah.
And then the idea was from Cafe Caterina, go to Radar and down Kogyo, back to
Quezon
Marcos
City.
Marcos Highway. So I never made it to Radar. I crashed. I took note of where was that.
The name of the place.
The name of the place.
Pero this is, sa gitna siya ng,
Yes.
tutok-tok ng Sierra Madre sa pababa.
In between Cafe Caterina and
Yeah.
Radar.
Yes,
if
it's a descent from the Sierra Madre.
It's near the Bureau of Soils and Water Management.
Okay.
Tanay. Okay. So yun, it's the only part na may curve tapos puro lubak.
Right.
And super steep. No?
Apparently up to now may lubak pa rin. So it's been a year since. So yeah, I crashed there and I have no idea what happened. So the next thing, I just woke up 2 to 3 weeks after with no actual memory of what went on. So I think he can fill in some like
Yes.
that.
3 weeks ago.
I wasn't there the full 3 weeks.
But yeah, do you remember like
I remember
that day?
Yes, like every time I pass by there on my bike, I basically see it again because it was quite a traumatic experience.
Right.
Yeah. So Jobim and Domes were a bit faster on the descent because I'm a bit of a slow descender, and I came around that turn. It's a left hand turn, and it's steep there. And I was already thinking, it was raining, it was wet as well. I was thinking, this is tricky. And as soon as I came around the corner, I saw him lie flat on his face, like across the road. And Doms was braking, getting off his bike. So it was like a second after it happened. And I thought, like, this is bad. This is really bad. And so, yeah. I don't know. I didn't see the accident. That's the problem. Doms was in front of you. I was behind you, and there was a curve. So I didn't see how it happened. But
Yeah. So from the stories of the people, and of course Hide and Dom, we were a 3-man group. I was in the middle. I crashed, but no one saw. No CCTV. If you imagine Sierra Madre area, of course, very forested, very dense area, just a road, maybe a few houses. So no CCTV, no eyewitnesses. So, and of course, I have no memory. So wala talagang way to actually find out what happened. But of course, if you, hindi ko alam if kita sa camera or hindi. Pero when you close up, dun lang mo na makita what happened, which was of course ito mga scars ko sa face. Because apparently supposedly walang vehicle naman. I hit a pothole, probably hit a pothole or lost my balance sa brakes, flew off the bike, and hit the road face first. So, yung madaming injuries, saan ba? So, I ripped my mouth twice. So, dito sa taas, upper lip, nahati siya. As in, like, if imagine like cutting skin with scissors. Ganun siya nahati. And this one, same. So,
Sa cheeks.
dito.
Left cheek.
So, coming from, this,
It's around mga 1.5 inch
Sa may jaw a bit.
from the left cheek to the jaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yun. And a few more injuries, like, I lost two teeth. Pero I just think of it as like offering something to Sierra Madre para hindi na ako.
Hindi na nakita yung
Nag-offer
mga
na ako.
ngipin. Doon lang sila sa Sierra Madre.
Wala.
Kinuha na ng tooth fairy.
I lost some teeth. I broke some. I had what's this? A big opening here, and
Sa
then
may eyebrow.
wounds on my elbows and my knees
your back as well.
and my back and on my ass kasi sa saddle. So gumasgas siya. So I mean, ang daming sugat, tapos may mga road rash everywhere. Tapos ayun, I tried to, since I didn't have any memory, when I was trying to recover, I wanted to see the site because maybe ewan ko, yung sa mga movie, yung pag bumalik sa isang lugar, parang ito pa rin nangyari sa akin. Parang I was waiting for that moment pero it never happened. But I was fortunate to meet the Barangay Tanod who also, I think, took care of me.
Yes.
And grabe, because sabi lang niya sa akin, akala ko patay ka na. And apparently like people really die on that area. From not from cycling, pero maybe related, associated sports ba? Parang ganun.
Actually,
Or
I remember
vehicular.
na kwento ni Hide na nung one time na bumalik siya, may isa pang helmet dun.
Yeah.
Right? There was
yeah.
there's another
I
helmet
think Dom
that wasn't
said
Jobim.
that.
Yeah.
That was Dominic's
I didn't see
helmet.
that. No.
Okay.
He was the one who told that. It
alright.
wasn't me. But I also thought actually you might die there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Tapos
what
yun.
the guy said, it was really something that
Yeah.
many people
Yeah.
who were there felt.
Yeah, and that area has no signal, so it was really hard to communicate. I think it was just super lucky that it was a Sunday and that there was a medical mission at the next barangay, like a few areas away. So may ambulance sila to take me to the hospital.
Is this Barangay Pinugay? Do you remember?
I
No
think so.
idea.
Kasi
Maybe.
I know like Barangay Pinugay, like kudos. Kasi every weekend andun sila. Saturday, Sunday. Tapos sabi nila like every week there's always an accident.
Yeah,
Usually motorsiklo.
I think yung tanod, yeah, he was telling me that that what
Routine nila.
Oo.
what they normally do.
Oo.
Yun. Yeah. Maybe. Hindi ko
Kaya
lang
baka
masabi.
sila yung usual
Yeah.
na
May
first responders. Sabi nila, nagkaroon ng meeting with different barangays in the area. And then they talked about, coming up with first responder like a system. Like per barangay may first responder. But it's only Barangay Pinugay there na parang super active every week. They're always there. So, yeah, and actually, while you're sharing your experience, parang I'm thinking like, ganun ba talaga yung sitwasyon sa Pilipinas? Na daming lubak, daming pwedeng factors that could cause an accident na I'm not sure, like, it would require a rider to be at his 100% most of the time.
Yeah.
Kasi like you guys are like great riders. Like I've ridden random
Really?
ka, ano ka ba?
Yeah.
Like nag-odax ka na, we rode together. Pero
Rider.
like,
Cheers.
Rider.
You can never tell how
Oo,
or
eh.
when these accidents will happen.
may mangyari lang ng ganun, tapos
Oo.
ito na yung pwedeng mangyari. Maliit lang na lubak. Malaki na yung pwedeng damage.
Whether
Right.
you're a beginner or a seasoned cyclist,
Oo.
it can happen.
Yeah. So parang it says something about the bike friendliness of Philippines, of our roads. We're not even talking about Metro Manila roads. Like this is like a highway
It's a provincial
outside.
area
Yes,
already.
exactly. So parang wala lang, nakagising siya. Diba?
Parang we always have to be 100% alert and make sure that we're the top of our game, diba? Parang if you had not enough sleep,
Oo.
that you're not distracted by anything else when you're
Oo,
riding
parang
on
it's just a reminder na,
Yeah.
parang wala lang. Kaya natin mag-prepare, but at the same time, things like this can happen.
Yeah.
So, what's the next thing na you remembered after the incident? So, you mentioned na after 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, yeah. So basically, para kang natulog ng 2018 tas nagising ng 2019.
oh my God.
Oh, right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yun na nangyari.
Yeah, as in like it was so hard na yun like parang nag time travel. Parang ganun yung feeling. Yeah, so it was very paano ba? It was very difficult. I was dealing with my physical injuries and my mental injuries kasi of course it's hard to just kind of accept what happened. Siguro for the physical part, that was painful, like literally painful kasi like ang daming sugat, so every movement masakit. It was hard to eat kasi wala akong ngipin. It was and also may sugat pa, like may stitches inside my mouth, and yung mga a few more
Scars.
yung mga deep wounds. So yun, pero it was easier to manage because fortunately I can go to a hospital. I mean, I can go to get my to get proper health care. I don't think ayun, going back to the realities of being in this country and all of the situations, yun, yung sinabi mo kanina, like yung sa mga lubak, hindi lahat fortunate to be able to actually, kung magkaroon na injury, you can just easily go to a hospital. Pero yun, luckily, we can afford medication. It really was a lot of medication. And also, since we're talking about medication, I just go back to that yung mga realization because when I was being taken from from the site where I crashed to the hospital, I got rejected by 2 hospitals. So they rejected me because they have no idea what to do with my injury. So it was really pwede pala yun. Like sabihin nila ng hospital,
They can't
hindi
attend
namin
to you.
kaya, hindi
That
kami
was the
capable.
nearest hospital,
Diba?
the one in Kabading.
And then ayun, kailangan talaga humanap ng mag-accept sa'yo. So mahirap siya.
They can't deal with that kind of
Yeah,
injury.
But that's a
It's-
new hospital relatively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bago yun.
Sa
Bago
Kabading.
yun ng time na yun.
But
They
it's
have
a-
an emergency room there, but
What?
this was too serious for
Yeah.
them,
Right.
apparently. When we arrived there on our bikes,
Yeah.
you were gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yun, tapos and also to add to the physical injuries, I think this is quite normal for athletic types athletic kinds of injuries na yung sodium nagka-crash, I think because of the electrolytes or something. There's parang na-shock yung body. So what happened was my sodium crashed. So after I got discharged from the hospital, so recovery na lang, just wait for the wounds. Apparently I had a seizure and then I needed to be brought back to the hospital and be treated for they have no idea at the time, so nasa ICU ako ng a few days. So dalawang visit siya sa hospital, kaya medyo malala siya. Pero luckily we can manage yung expenses because of course wala namang, I mean, I have a few insurances under my name, pero it just covered maybe partial amount of the hospital bills. Ayun. And then for the mental part, that's the kind of tough one kasi it's when you wake up the next year, parang ano nangyari. Tapos as in umabot sa point that I was actually wondering if I was in a parallel universe. As in, gano'n na siya ka-crazy kasi wala na eh. Parang, tapos iba na itsura ko, like, when I look at myself sa mirror, biglang, ba't may malaking sugat dyan? Bakit itong part?
Inflammation pa.
Like, kung itong part, sige, I can see
half
myself. Oo. Kasi ito, wala naman nangyari dito. But, the entire, parang, nangyari. Tapos, may daming sugat. So, I kept, there's a thing in architecture sa practice. I think, if there are architecture people listening or from interior design or yung usually we knock on stuff kasi tinitingnan namin kung ano yung material. Ganun na the whole mostly when I started gaining consciousness, like kinakato ko lang like the bed, the walls, the window, like just to see that if it's real kasi the reality was really blurred.
Whoa.
Ganun siyang level. So it really took a lot. And so of course I needed psychiatric help. So I went to a psychologist and asked for how to recover from this kind of parang PTSD, diba? PTSD na siya. So yun. And eventually we were able to work out a recovery plan, and the physical injuries healed themselves eventually. Also, one thing I've learned from the physical, yung trabaho ng derma, hindi siya aesthetics lang.
Yeah.
Like, sobrang important organ natin yung skin.
Right.
Lalo na for cyclists because when you go out, you're exposed to the sun, to weather, basically. And you have to take care of your skin. Kasi yun, yung ang tagal mag-heal ng mga sugat. Ayun.
Yeah, I mean, like, alam mo, most of it, the kwentos, parang narinig ko na siya before, a bit.
Yeah.
But now, narinig ko siya ulit. Grabe, sobrang...
Oh, it's a different
Kinalabutan ako.
experience. Grabe. And I also remember kasi ako yung nag-try mag-contact nung brother ni Jobim.
Yeah.
It was just yung idea that I didn't know what was happening, but I was trying to coordinate between the family and the ambulance. Parang sobrang hindi ko alam kung anong parang what's gonna happen at that
Yeah.
time.
Super
Na-alert.
thank you for that.
And now hearing what you went through,
Diba?
parang, grabe.
Super, I can still remember that day talaga. Na parang, na-alert yung cycling club natin. And then, we had to contact different people, so friends, like our classmates from high school,
Yeah.
mga ganong stuff. Tapos parang, ano nangyari, ganon.
And then a month after we had a meeting to improve our systems in the team.
Yeah.
Ano nga yun?
Definitely.
Ano nga yun? Kailangan ng road, ano yun? Road
Road
ID.
Road ID.
Yun.
Yeah. Naman,
So,
kailangan, para alam, like, ano yung kasama sa road
Yeah.
ID
So the road
ay-
ID to our listeners is a bracelet na para siyang dog tag bracelet. So for example, I'm wearing right now a black road ID. Yung strap niya usually is leather and rubber, and then there's a metal piece of metal attached to it. And pwede mong ilagay doon yung name mo, where you live, contact numbers of your emergency contacts, and sometimes you put a inspirational message or something, like ride on, ganun. Yeah.
What's your inspirational message?
Mine, is it an inspirational message? It just says blood type O.
Sobrang inspiring ng
Oh,
plot
yeah,
namin.
parang whoa. But yeah,
But you can check the website. They have a website,
Road ID.
roadid.com.
among the many things that we considered in terms of improving our safety systems in the team, no.
Yeah.
Road ID is very helpful.
Yeah. Grabe naalala ko. Hindi ko paniwala. Like, before ako umalis sa Antipolo, like, mag-picture kami ng puro black bikes. Igitin ka namin.
Oh.
Like, dyan,
Oo nga,
pressure ka
sumama ka
namin.
na sa black bike.
Peer pressure pa.
But, damn. So, you know what? Let's just take a break from, medyo naging heavy na yung
Oh,
discussion. So, let's take a break for a bit and talk about something lighter. So, since we've been talking about accidents, I want to talk about something related. Like, let's talk about our cycling fears. So I'll ask each and every one of us here to share one example of something that you fear when you're riding outside. So bike commuting, kahit anong ride, or anything about cycling except getting into an accident. So let's take a pause from that first. So except crashing, yeah.
It can be irrational fears.
Oh, irrational fears. Nice. Yes. So kung funny, okay lang din. Kung
Okay.
medyo serious, okay lang din. So for example, for me, when I'm bike commuting, my greatest fear is accidentally getting spat at by mga manong jeepney drivers. Alam mo yun, kapag traffic, tapos parang sisingit-singit ka sa traffic, right? And then sometimes medyo random, bigla silang biglang dudura. Tas
So
super
it hasn't happened to you yet.
not
Yeah.
yet. Never.
You're not a cyclist.
Oh my
Please
God.
no.
Always
Someone
politely
spat on you.
cyclist.
Please no.
So you've been spat at?
Sure.
Oh!
Joke lang.
Like, why do they have to spit pa? Ba't kailangan dumura?
Well,
Yun yung greatest fear ko every time.
Kung mabilis ka siguro, masasalo mo yung laway nila. Tapos hindi sila nakatingin. Parang,
Oh. Na parang,
Wow, mabilis si King.
but, no, pero yun yung sa akin.
Right,
So,
right.
how about you guys? Greatest fear.
More rational, getting stuck with a mechanical that you can't fix, and
Like
you're
what
in a mountain
mechanical?
somewhere. Broken stuff. I can fix a tire, right?
Right.
But a broken chain,
Yeah.
Right.
Broken spokes.
broken spokes,
Rear derailleur.
oh yeah.
rear derailleur, yes.
Yeah.
A nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Bro, yung flat tire mo,
Oh, yeah, flat tire. Yeah,
with a tubeless.
Yeah.
Mahirap. Ayun.
Oo, mahirap yun. So, what else? How about you guys?
Sa akin, ano rin similar to Hides. Yung maflatan ako, tas I've run out. Like, I brought extra inner
Yes,
tubes.
you bring 2 or 3
Yeah.
inner tubes, and you
And
get
then
4. And
You get 4 flats, tas you're at the end of it, and like, okay, wala na,
happened
paano
to me
to?
once, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Here in the Philippines?
No, back home.
ever.
Mhm.
How did you deal with it?
The father of a friend came
Came over.
in a car
oh.
with extra
my
spare
fear is
tube.
just that, for example, I'll be like left behind and we'll probably somewhere in the Sierra Madre area. Then I just have to wait for a jeepney to pass by, and it will take forever.
Mhm.
And then I'll just live there.
No, grabe.
Oh,
Oh,
Alright.
yung nag-commute ka tapos magbubukas na lang ng door
Yes.
yung
Yung
car.
dooring. Oh, yeah.
Buti
Yes.
talaga it never happened yet.
Happened to me
It
once.
happens a
Really?
lot.
Ah, really?
But I can
Happened to
always
me once.
avoid it.
Where?
Yeah. Pero sa akin, like, jeep ulit.
May door yung jeep?
But yung jeep ng, yung door ng conductor,
Oo.
so sa front seat, yung passenger seat,
Pero di ba maiksi lang yun?
maiksi lang siya. And then nagsasakay siya ng, so naglo-load sila ng passengers. So medyo gutter na. And then yung pagbukas siya ng door, yung kailangan pang hatawin para
Yung
bumakas siya
door.
mag-snap open.
Oh.
So everything happened so quickly. I wasn't riding really fast, like super slow. Pero sobrang bilis. Tumama sa left knuckle ko. Tsaka sa STI. Like super hassle.
Sorry.
Sobrang sakit. Super inis na inis ako. Tapos nag-sorry naman sila. Pero like, man, di ba pwedeng like, you can just check first before you open your door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
It's actually one of the first things you learn when you learn how to drive a car in the
Exactly.
Netherlands is look for bikes when you open your door.
Look for
Right.
bikes. Yes.
There's a name for it, right?
Yeah, I forgot what it
The
is.
Dutch reach.
The Dutch reach,
Yeah.
yes.
So cool. Sana may ganun tayo dito.
I know. But yeah.
Another fear is being overtaken by King on a climb.
Oh my God. We're gonna talk about that sa ibang episode.
Oo.
Irrational fear.
Irrational fear.
How about Jube, may naisip ka ba iba?
Ah? Oh, yung nag-ride ka tapos ipopost mo yung Strava. Tapos
Yeah.
mag-ride
Oh no, nightmare.
Oh my God.
Forget to resume your ride.
Hindi naman sa competitive tayo sa Strava. Wala lang. Nakakaaliw
But
lang.
still, oh.
But it didn't happen if it's not
Yeah,
there.
only
Oh.
half of it happened.
Yun nga eh.
Especially kapag big ride. Okay, set ka na to do a century ride.
Oh.
Pero di ka
Okay.
abot ng 100.
Or
50
parang
lang.
you're gonna try to go for a PR
Oh, yeah.
and then you forgot.
And you're
Oh, yeah.
sure you got the PR, but you didn't record.
yeah, di ba?
Okay.
That is something.
That's
That's a
terrible.
nightmare. All right, now, so moving on from nightmares and from fears, I want to talk more about so
The
recovery.
recovery phase, yeah. So how did your recovery start?
Start. So, yun. Siguro for the physical part is just going back and forth hospital, having checkups, doing this and that. Yung injuries ko sa face was repaired by an ENT. My injuries sa sodium nephrology.
Nephrologist.
Yeah, nephrologist. Tapos, of course, yung skin derma yun. Yun, just going back and forth. Kasi, pero matagal yung,
Several specialists.
ang matagal yung derma because of, sa dami ng scars. I mean, kasi parang keloidal ako. So, to avoid that, kailangan may injection. So, parang, I think 6 months akong continuous.
Injection.
Steroids
Injection.
na ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
At hindi ko siya nagamit para mag-climb. Sayang.
Hindi nakapag
Ito na yun eh. Ito na yun eh. Ito na yung chance eh. Wala. So yun.
The only time you had the chance
Yeah,
to do.
tapos na. Ayun. Tsaka bawal daw ako mabilad sa araw masyado. So for that 6 months, I took a leave from work because since I'm a landscape architect, so lagi kaming outside the sun. Kasi syempre yung sites namin would be mga outdoors. Tapos I was also I also kept myself indoors. Siguro for a time, biglang I wanted to always stay like at the same fitness level. So may time na I tried indoor cycling. Siguro yun yung before tayo mag-ride ulit for the first. I mean yung first ride ko after 4 months since the injury. Pero like yun na, after that di na ako nag-indoor cycling. Parang napagod na ako. So yun. Tapos for the mental part, seeing a psychologist regularly to check up on yung progress and processing the event kasi it's the acceptance eh. And I guess of course the moving on part yung important and malaking bagay yung mind natin. Like may times na I was so out of it na para akong bata nung recovery kasi like literally I can't write, I can't draw, I can't do the regular things. If I wanted to say pink, I'll say red. So maraming disconnect sa utak ko. So I had to figure things out and reconnect everything and try to recall. Ayan. So magandang excuse siya kasi for example, may tao na kilala ako tapos hindi ko siya maalala. Sabi ko, sorry na, aksidente ako. Hindi ko
That's so convenient.
Sorry, sino ko ulit?
parang ganun. Pero yeah, I mean, that was my recovery. Mostly.
Would you say that you're on a scale of parang percentage 1 to 100%? Parang
How?
ano yung percentage ng
How
recovery
recovered?
mo right now to this day?
Siguro today 90.
90.
90 is
Okay.
ano.
Is the 10% regaining back your strength and your KOMs and and your PRs or
Your randomer skills.
Oh, or is it more like just the day to day, the usual you living your life parang ganun?
Parang yun na lang yung kulang, no?
Yun na lang
Yung
ba?
riding.
Yung
Eh,
riding.
Hindi na ako nag-ride ng long ride. Hindi pa. Pero eventually, I think I'll get back. I think it's mostly that. Sometimes I still get like mental lapses. So, I blame it on the accident.
Right.
Pero, iniisip ko, ganito ba ako before? Parang ganito rin naman ako before. So, internal debate siya.
Right.
So, I can't say I'm 100%. Pero, ayun, with the physical, I learned to live with it. Like, this part, since
Yung
it was,
sa cheek, left cheek.
this part, since it was stitched together, parang if you get your hand and just pull your cheek and your chin together, yan yung feeling
Mo.
all the time. Like, all the time.
Okay. Because may yung
May
tahi
may
na
humihila.
nakahila.
So, nasanay na lang ako na parang, nandyan na yan. Nasanay na lang ako na, okay, I have dentures. Nasanay, parang, it's getting used to it.
Okay.
Pero, I mean, yun. Hopefully, man-numb na yung nerves ko, parang di na niya mapapansin. Pero like, for example, if I press here, I can still
below his
feel
sa
this
lower
part.
lip.
Okay.
Ganun siya pulled. Parang yan. Kasi for example, pag i-press mo ito lang mararamdaman mo, this spot.
Okay.
But if dito, minsan may line, naramdaman ko pa yung line.
Right. So to our listeners, si Jobim is explaining that when he touches his lower lip, below his lower lip, he feels some
Something here.
tension sa
Yes.
left cheek.
Yes.
Kasi connected yung nerves.
Unlike regularly, if you touch any part of your body, you would feel only that part.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Ayun, getting used to the injuries lang and the scars. Ayun.
So what were the things that were most helpful to you in your recovery in terms of like your mindset or anything like support group?
I think it's more of the family and the friends. Okay? So, before last year, I was planning to travel to Europe a week after my accident. So, I think nung dinedelirio pa ako sa hospital, sinasabi ko, hindi, lilipad pa ako sa Europe. Okay na ako. Pero, I mean, hindi ko na, I can't really recall. Pero hindi yung sinasabi ko. Tapos, yun, so eventually, I just woke up na, yun, nandun na yung, kasi I was going to Europe because I was planning to visit my fiancée there because she's studying there. Ay, nagising na lang ako, nasa Pilipinas na siya. Tapos, yun, very grateful for, of course, my family, my brother, and my parents, and yung girlfriend ng brother ko. And so, yun, yung core na family was was always there to guide me, help me do yung mga stuff that I needed to take care of. So, malaking bagay. Of course, I'm very thankful for ito ba yung I'm thankful for? Oh my God. Yung fellow riders, of course, they joined me up to the hospital. So, talagang iba yung ganun, di ba? Siyempre, nakakalambot ng puso. Tapos, of course, the friends who visit, who come and visit and you ask if I'm alright. And yun, yung ano lang, yung that kind of support, that's very heartwarming, di ba? And yun, it just made me feel na talagang kaya yan because there are a lot of people supporting you. And yun, lalo na yung parents ko kasi may time na parang vegetable na raw ako sa ICU. Like, sabi ng mom ko parang, before kasi when we were taking care of my lolo, nung bedridden na siya, yung nakahiga na sa bed na parang,
Motionless
motionless and kung ano na lang sinasabi, di ba? Like, hindi na siya maka-construct ng proper sentence. May umabot ako sa ganung point. So, akala nila magiging vegetable ako. Like, if you have yung parang ganung parent, support from the parents, ang bigat na, ang laking tulong talaga. Very happy for that.
Yeah.
And yun, may mga friends din ako na parang nagbigay sa akin ng mga board games, puzzles, notebooks, art materials para ma-exercise yung brain ko kasi parang yun yung nakita nila na parang kailangan ko talaga ma-regain yung mental edge na parang yun yung nawala.
Yeah.
So yun, and ayun, I brought this notebook. So this notebook is what I used to practice on nung I was injured. So pinipilit nila ako because I didn't want to. Pero my fiancé was really makulit in a way because sige, sulat mo, draw ka ng something. So like may practice ng aking signature, draw like stuff, parang bata. If you can see the drawings, 'di ba? Parang bata.
May drawing ng mga
Drawing ko yung
faces, people.
mom ko, dad ko, tas mukhang drawing ng bata. Kasi hindi ako ganito mag-draw ngayon, I think. Hindi na. And then may parang scrapbook. So what's your full name? Sulat ko yung full name ko. What's your birthday? What's your age? Where do you live? What's your address? What's your nickname? Profession? Etc. Tapos my hobby is blank. My hobby is biking.
Yan pa rin.
Nice.
Yeah, and traveling. So kahit wala na ako sa sarili ko, biking pa rin ang hobby ko. Ayun, my favorite food is, may blah 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 blah.
How many months after na?
Ito?
Oh.
And then siguro
As you
a few weeks after the accident.
Okay.
So maybe December 13 nakalagay. Tapos pinasulat ako ng ito yung medyo na-touch ako sa sarili ko. Letter to mom and dad, letter to my brother, and letter to Bianca. Tapos wala talaga akong sinulat. Sinulat ko lang, hi, kung sino man. Hi mom, dad. Hi Dong. Hi Bianca. Tapos ito lang yung content. Nakalagay lang, love you. It's parang hindi ko naman siya sinasabi at all. Parang grabe yung wasak kong personality. Like, I love you, wala sa lahat ng
Sweet
mga...
na pala.
Oo nga.
Ang sweet naman ang pagkawasak mo.
Ayun, tapos nag-drawing na ako ng mga stuff. Nag-drawing ako ng cyclist. Namiss ko na mag-bike. Ayun. Pero, I mean, it was really, like, they tried to really help me recover as much as I can. Kasi may time na parang hopeless na. Like, vegetable na. Siguro, hindi naman, I think, a few days lang yun. Pero, of course, hindi na nila alam kung ano mangyari. Because
unpredictable.
nung hindi nila mahanap yung yung salt crash, willing na yata yung doctors like i-open yung skull ko. Yung ganun.
What?
Kasi
Ganun
hindi na nila
ka-intense?
mahanap kung bakit ako nagsi-seizure.
Parang imbalance.
So may neuro na siya. So medyo ganun siya
Yung sa sodium.
ganun siya ka-heavy. Pero apparently when I was talking to like to fellow cyclists, ayun, yung crash ng sodium is quite normal for like
For
sporty kinds of accidents. Ayun.
So, what do you think was the most important thing when it comes to recovering from a crash, especially for cyclists?
Siguro it's hard for me to answer that kasi wala akong maalala.
Okay.
Pero siguro just maybe talking for a person na may wala talagang memory. Just to backtrack a little bit, I don't think I have ever been in I just crashed I think once before, tapos sa humps lang yun, tapos nasugat lang yung likod. Parang maliit lang siyang crash. Pero like I never had a major crash or accident. And this one is of course a very major a very major a terrible accident, no? And siguro for me it was just accepting that you can't blame anyone or anything for what happened to you. Kasi ang hirap nung time na that I crashed. I was riding my a new bike. Ito na tayo sa new bike. I was riding a new bike. So,
N+1.
oo, N+1.5. So, syempre, kinakapa ko pa lang everything. And I noticed na yung mechanic, ginawa niyang 40-60 yung brake. Meaning, mas mabigat yung rear brake kaysa dun sa front. Kasi, di ba, normally, pag sabay mo siyang pinindot, makukuha mo yung balance sa pag-brake.
Right.
Versus the 50-50. Ako, I'm used to riding 50-50.
Okay.
Pero I was a little bit worried at the start. Pero after going up Antipolo and going down Teresa, parang okay lang naman. So, I don't think that was Pero there was a time na parang ang sarap sisihin ng mekaniko. Parang ganun yung feeling ko. Tapos, of course, ang sarap sisihin. Parang ang daming masarap sisihin. Like, ang sarap sisihin ng... teka, may list ako niyan eh. I mean,
Nang sarap sisihin.
yung mekaniko, 15 minutes before before crashing, we were having like cake and coffee at Cafe Caterina.
Yeah.
So parang linagyan pa ng drugs nung waitress yung coffee ko. Parang hindi ganun na siya
Blaming
level.
even the
Diba?
waitress.
Sobrang lala.
Parang trying
Kasi-
to find a reason,
Blame, parang yun lang. Parang lang ma-rationalize kasi wala
Oo.
talaga. Pero
May
at
closure
the end of
man
the day,
lang.
you can't tell talaga. You can't
Yeah.
say. And I don't think I mean, that person should, or I mean, in my case, I shouldn't find someone else to blame. So
Right.
it's just the acceptance and just getting ready to move on from
Right.
what
Now,
happened.
talking about moving on, what brought you back to cycling? Why do you choose to ride again?
Well, nakalagay nga hobby. It's a hobby for me. But I also I'm also I think even before like doing this long rides and doing this fun rides with Hide and the rest of the team, it was more of a commuting thing for me. So like going to and from work, yun talaga I think it's the best way to commute for me. It's the best way to commute and go around areas without thinking about traffic that much.
Right.
Without thinking about just have to think about the weather, I think. Kasi pag umulan lang, mahirap ng konti. But yun, I think it's the utility part of the bike that that found its way back in my recovery because since the injury, I had the 6-month leave. After that, I was back to work. So at the first weeks, I tried riding a jeep, walking. Baduy eh. Masarap mag-ride.
Hindi
So,
na,
yeah, kahit 3 kilometers lang. So yun, I ride to from my house to work every day. So that keeps that's what brings me back to cycling. And also ayun, eventually I'd like to ride again with the team. For now lang, I'm a little bit superstitious kasi may plans na ako for to visit my fiance. I hopefully finally I can go to Europe and meet her there. So I just want to get to do that first before riding again. And I think she gave me a rule na I can't ride long distances without a sag. Pero I think eventually she'll
loosen
We'll
up.
see.
ayan.
Probation.
Oo, baka pa naman yan. Negotiable pa yan.
Don't worry, Bianca. I'll sag.
We'll take care of it.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Did you have questions or?
Well, one final question is maybe do you have a final message for people who've gone through the same or are going through something similar?
All right. Siguro final. Well, if hopefully any of our listeners wouldn't crash, no. But if crashing is something that sometimes can't be avoided, or I don't know. For me, it can't be avoided. I can't recall. I'm not sure. But yun, do invest in your gear, and yung first investment I think would be that, and the best investment is to always get a good enough helmet. I forgot to mention, pero yun, when I crashed, of course, face first sa road. I think if I didn't have a helmet, I would have been dead. Because when I saw my helmet, buo pa yung labas, pero yung loob niya puro crack na yung styrofoam. So, ano siya, talagang naalog siya. Ngayon nga, minsan, iniisip ko pa, what if I got a higher level helmet? May mga, yung mas high-end
Would you
pa,
have lessened
maybe
the,
it would have done some better protection. Pero yun, at least get a good helmet. I mean, a good invest on a good helmet. Parang walang magkano lang ang good helmet. Kahit umabot yan ng 5 digits versus a hospital bill na abot ng 6 or 7 digits. So, ano siya eh. It's a good investment. The helmet it's the best investment, I think, for cycling. And ayun, kahit yung pag-ride lang from this area to another kanto, don't forget to wear your helmet. Yun.
Okay. Well, of course, other than the helmet, there are other contingencies that we can, we can make sure, or we can try out. First, there's the Strava Beacon. It's a Strava Beacon is a feature in the app, the Strava app, that allows you to share yung location nyo to your family and friends. So you can choose, I think, 2 to 3 contacts who will immediately get a link to your that will allow them to view your location during your entire ride. Of course, meron lang dyan minsan pag nawala yung data mo or nagkaroon ng bad cell coverage.
They wouldn't have found you there.
Yeah, they wouldn't see you. Of course, other than relying on technology, it also helps to prepare and know the routes, diba? Of where the nearest hospitals are. That's something we do in the team.
Yeah.
Before actually
know
heading
where
out.
danger spots are.
Mga technical.
Which is difficult, right? Because who would have known that there's this small bump there in that area.
But that whole area is a danger spot, not just the bump. But the whole thing is
and
terrible.
also perhaps first aid, right? Learning first aid, which is nice because I think a few months ago or a month and a half ago, Manila Moves, diba? One of our previous guests had a CPR workshop for cyclists. So I hope we can have more of those kinds of events. And of course, like Jobim mentioned, safety equipment. Helmet is very important. I can
Very
attest to that.
important, yeah.
I've crashed quite a number of times na rin.
I've broken 2 helmets.
You've broken 2 helmets, really?
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah. I just also replaced my helmet kasi parang once you crash, you have to replace it. You never know if there are cracks.
Yeah.
Okay, any other tips?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Well, if for listeners, if you'd also like to read about this, we have an article on our website about how to deal with an accident, and that's there are things there that you may want to remember and keep in mind, especially when you're attending to someone who's in an accident or someone who is experiencing it.
Yeah, and if you want to share tips, for example, for recovery, for added safety, you can just share it with us. You can write it on the sa comments, and let's talk about it and let's share it to other cyclists also.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jobim and Hide.
Thank you
for discussing with us this event that happened last year. I think a lot of our listeners will be able to it could give our listeners a new understanding of something that they could prepare for, something that is unpredictable but happens to anyone.
But please also don't be scared now of riding your bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jobim is getting back into it.
Jobim's getting
Yes,
kasi
next
bago
year.
yung maglakad. Right. So please subscribe to the Cycling Matters podcast on Spotify and anywhere you can find podcasts. We're also available on YouTube. Our episodes are the next best thing to riding your bike on a Monday. Just search Cycling Matters in your favorite podcast platform, perhaps right before you start your household chores. Put on some earphones and enjoy the discussion, probably while washing the dishes.
That's what I do. How hugas sa pinggan. I just listen, you know.
Yeah, no, turn up the
To
volume.
yourself.
Right, so you can catch more of Cycling Matters on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, or on our website at cyclingmatters.ph. Thanks again to our guests for coming over. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch you in the next episode of the Cycling Matters podcast. Until then, ride safe, Philippines.